Well, what's up guys? It is Carly here, bringing you a new video, recording in my bedroom again for a change. I just thought it'd be nice to have some natural lighting, but anyway, one thing I wanted to start doing on the channel that is kind of new again is, maybe doing some random book reviews since last year especially, I kept buying a bunch of books and they just kept on piling up, and I thought it would be cool if I read them and then kind of turned them into content, because for one thing that would kind of motivate me to read more and start getting those books read a little bit faster, and another thing is it just allows me to come up with new video ideas. So originally I was just gonna do like a review of every single book that I have in my collection after I read each one, but I kind of thought for some of them that would probably be dumb, because a lot of them are like the Goosebumps books and the, the Fear Street books, and I feel like those books are so short and they're pretty much going to be very similar in tone based on the fact that they're just kids books, that it would kind of be dumb and kind of hard, honestly, to do reviews of each one individually. So I thought I would just read maybe like all the Goosebumps books that I have, because I don't have too many of those, and then all the Fear Streets, and then just do kind of an overview of that. And today I am actually going to be talking about some Goosebumps books, but they are not the normal Goosebumps books. They are these Goosebumps Presents books. These came out when the TV series was kind of a big deal back in the 90s. I think these are both from 1997, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's when they started to come up with these, and basically what these are just novelizations of the TV series. These were R.L. Stine books beforehand, and after the TV shows would air, they would kind of take from the TV show and do a little rewriting of the books, and as well as putting some pictures from the TV series inside. Pretty sure that's what's going on here. Honestly, I've never read actual like Ghost Beach or Return of the Mummy that you have here. I know that like with Ghost Beach, I looked it up, and this is actually like 119 pages, where this is only 59 pages, so it's a very, very short read. I read both of these in just one day, so I cannot get it together. So I figured, might as well just kind of give my opinions on the books and the whole idea behind novelizations and stuff like that, because that's something that they did with a lot of TV series and even some movies. But like I remember back when I was in school, they would release books on That's So Raven and like Hannah Montana, and it would just be it would literally be books that were exactly the same as the episodes, and they would just kind of, I guess it's just a way to put it out there and kind of promote reading a little bit more for kids, because it's a lot easier to follow along with stuff sometimes that you've seen visually. So, I think it's a cool idea, honestly. The idea of like I said, putting all these pictures and stuff in here, I always liked that when I was a kid. I enjoyed having pictures in my book. I don't know what kid didn't, honestly. It used to make the books go kind of faster when you're reading them if you're not big into reading. In this case though, it's like these ones where you have the pictures just kind of smack dab in the middle. I don't necessarily love it, because then you're literally just reiterating everything you already read up to that middle point, and it's pretty much, these are something that you want to look at kind of after you've already read the story, because like with Return of the Mummy, I kind of was just browsing through the pictures and reading the captions, and it kind of just gives away the ending of the story. But I guess if you're reading these, it's kind of like you're supposed to be watching the TV series as well, so you should already kind of know what's going to happen. But I just don't like how it's in the middle. I think it would be better if the pictures were at the end. But I guess when it comes to kids, you kind of, obviously these are made for kids, and I'm a grown adult reading these, but you got to think of kids and how they enjoy looking at pictures, and they probably do like to have that broken up to where there's some pictures in the middle. So story itself, for Return of the Mummy, I guess we'll start with, this is about two kids who are in the middle of like Egypt, and they're kind of going through the pyramids, and they're trying to track something down with their Uncle Ben, and while they're there, they kind of come across this mummy and kind of learn the story of this mummy that has been there for a long time, and obviously he kind of comes back to life. So this one I wasn't overly thrilled with. I read this one really fast. It was easy to read, obviously, but the storyline I didn't really care for. I'm not a big fan of stuff that has to do with Egypt or the desert or just any of that. That's not like really an atmosphere that I've ever been a big fan of. So with that, I just wasn't a big fan. I've never seen the actual episode of Goosebumps that this is based off of. This is TV episode number 4. That's what this book is, at least. I assume that's probably the 4th episode of the series. I could be wrong though, but yeah, I've never actually watched it, and I've never read the original release of this Goosebumps book, so can't really compare it all that much, but just the story in general I didn't find to be too scary. Obviously, like I said, this is a kid's book, so maybe a kid would find it scary, but even as a kid, I don't think this would really creep me out or anything like that. Things to do with just mummies and stuff like that, I just don't really care for, but yeah, that's just kind of how I really feel about this story in particular. Like I said, it's a fast read though, you can't complain. It's only like 60-some pages, so there's that. With Ghost Beach though, I actually just finished this one today, and this one I actually thought it had a more solid story. This is TV book number 13, and I thought it was pretty solid actually. I like the atmosphere. They're kind of on a beach and they're visiting their distant cousins who are a lot older than them. They've kind of just been sent there for the summer to sort of hang out with their cousins because they don't really spend much time with them. You know, you're dealing with, their names are Terry and Jerry, and their brother and sister, and they meet these 2 other kids named Louisa and Sam, and these kids warn them about a ghost that lives in a cave up on the beach somewhere. So of course they're curious, and they go to kind of seek the ghost out, and things kind of take a turn, and there's some twists and whatnots, and once again, very basic story for kids, but I actually thought this one was kind of a lot creepier than the other one, and the ending was sort of like a creepy, ambiguous ending, where this one just kind of ends on, you know, a very basic note. This one kind of actually leaves you with a creepy ending that I think I would have enjoyed as a kid. Once again, I never read this or saw the episode as a child. When it comes to Goosebumps, if I'm being honest, I never read a lot of them. I read a lot of the more popular ones, but when I was a kid, I was more into the Junie B. Jones books and like the Boxcar Children and those sort of young adult / children books. So these are not something that I was really into back then, so I think it's cool to kind of find them and collect them and see what I kind of missed out on. But yeah, I thought the story was a lot better than Return of the Mummy, but that's more just my personal preference. I like the atmosphere in it, and it's kind of a ghost story as well, and I think that came off as a lot more creepy. So yeah, that's kind of just my opinion of these 2 books. Reason I did these is because, like I said, they're the Goosebumps Presents. I just found these at Goodwill. Might try to pick up the other ones, but honestly, they're such short books, it's almost kind of pointless to even put them in my collection. They're very thin too, so they don't look fantastic on a shelf like full-blown books would, but if I see them, I might grab them. Who knows? This was back when I was just grabbing literally everything in sight. If I saw anything to do with Goosebumps or anything scary, I would just grab it at Goodwill, so had to pick these up. But yeah, that's kind of my opinion on these 2. Thank you guys again for watching this. Of course, let me know if you're interested in this series. I'm not just going to do little kids books. I have, you know, grown adult. I have a lot of Stephen King books that I have to get to as well, that I'll actually do reviews on the book itself, depending on, you know, how into it I am and things like that. So it's not all going to be just like children's books, because I am an adult and I do read some adult books. So let me know if you're interested in this series, and as always, thank you for watching.